So enigmatic and charismatic, gotta live static, gotta get at it, never pragmatic, cause we live tragic. I can't live average, to be alive's magic. Turn it up in the back cause I'm grabbing everything I want, get in my way and I'm stabbing. I'll be moving crowds till I'm 6 feet napping. They need another fix, hooked on like an addict. I got my eyes on the prize and it's changing lives. I wanna live till I die, make a difference, right? I wanna give those in need a reason to fight. I wanna live every day like it's my last night. I wanna change how we play the game, rearrange all the pieces till they say my name, push an agenda against doing what they say. I wanna stand up and start a revolution. I wanna 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 start a revolution. I'm on top now while we kissing babies. Call me out president, boss tool, hate me. I'ma trust my gut, you don't faze me. I'ma give my blood, don't save me. Damn it, never enough, still chasing every single dream that I passed since I was 18. I wanna start a revolution. I wanna start a revolution.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a snowed and iced in. How about the Angry American on Ice? The Angry American on Ice. Welcome, everybody, to the Angry American. I am your host, of course, as always, the Angry American. I want to talk about some things tonight that I know, I 100% know that you're dealing with where you are. Now, I go live on TikTok. I was just live on TikTok, and people claim that they don't see this or they haven't seen this, but I find it thoroughly hard to believe. Thoroughly hard to believe that this economic issue, that these shortages, the supply chain hiccup, we're going to call it a hiccup, that people have not experienced it in one way, shape, or form. Now, I find it extremely hard to believe. I'm going to start yesterday. I went to the store in preparation for the storm. Now, I realize that there is usually a run on the supermarket in times like this, okay? But the reason I went to this specific store is because they had the most stock. Now, we have Stock Watch here in the city on the radio. They tell you what grocery store has the most products, okay? They do it every morning, so I went to this specific store because they were about 85% stock. Now, that's a number. I don't know who comes up with the number. I don't really care. It's always been very accurate. Now you can go on TikTok. You can view the video that I took and that I created to see this was alarming. This was alarming in such a way that I didn't care who was around. I didn't care who heard what I said on the video. I had to show you guys. This was alarming. There was no milk. There was no bread. And we're talking about a Kroger here, a newly built Kroger, a Kroger marketplace, which typically is trying to compete with some of the bigger stores out there, Walmart being one of them. And it was empty. No bread, no milk. Poor selection of meat. I couldn't find anything. Well, let me rephrase that. I couldn't find what I was looking for. I could find a substitute of some sort, but I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. Now, that's been the case in the past, but not really. Not really. Because I'm always able to find what it is I'm looking for, maybe not in the quantity I'm looking for, but this was different. So I asked the stock clerk, I said, hey, listen, is this because of the storm? And he said, I don't think so, because it's not been abnormally busy. It seems to just be a typical day. There might be a few more people here, but this is not like a run on the supermarket. This is his words. Now, could he have been lying? Sure. But you got to take everybody at face value. You just have to. So here we are in the store with nothing. I got a storm coming. So I went to another store and another store and another store to be able to get what I needed to survive these next 4 days. This storm, I need you to understand, I hear the ice hitting my house right now. It's been doing this all day. It's going to do it all night. But it got me thinking. I got to start addressing this, even though I'm not supposed to. I got to start talking about this again. Now, this is what ran the account up. And it always seems that the universe works in mysterious ways. So in preparation for the podcast, I started to go through the news cycle and see what's cooking. Now, this is CNN's headline. America's economic recovery is about to go in reverse. And it depicts a woman. We got to figure out a way to share the screen. We have to. We got, no matter what, on this new setup, maybe over there underneath the usernames or whatever. But it depicts a lady in a supermarket. Now the shelves they're empty. I mean, there's a few things on the shelves, but they're empty. Let's just put it that way. I can't say it any other way. They've been prepping you this entire time to live with less. That's what the lockdowns were about. You have to live with less. You weren't able to just go out and do the things you were able to do before. You got to live with less. Now, let's jump forward here a second. If you don't know who the World Economic Forum is, I suggest that you pay attention to who they are and what Agenda 2030 means. It basically tells you from the get, you will have nothing and you will be happy. Because they've created the human utopia where you don't own anything. You borrow, lease, rent everything. Your clothes, your consumables, the hardware in your home, your appliances, your car, your damn computer chair, your microphone. You rent it all, and when you're finished using it, you send it back. They want to take away the ownership aspect for the people. What does that sound like to you? Where you own nothing. Now, I know that there's going to be a run on your weapons soon. It's begun. It's begun. All right? That is one of the biggest deterrents for this group that we call we called them something before, but we got in a little trouble. We're going to just say the top, the sharks, for my guy Shark Attack. The sharks, that's the biggest deterrent from them just taking it now. Because we can defend ourselves today. Now let's jump back. Now that you've paused the video, you've went out, you've researched the World Economic Forum, they have been prepping you for quite a long time to live with less. The economy is about to collapse. Now, I've been saying this for a couple years. I'm sure people are tired of hearing it. I'm sure they're waiting for some kind of validation that this is truly going to happen. It's here. It is here. 100%. Have you done what you needed to do to protect your family and your wealth? I'm curious to know, have you done what you needed to do? If you have a little wealth, good for you. I'm going to say that majority of the people do not have a little wealth. The average household doesn't have $3,000 in savings. Now, in a perfect world, owning nothing would be fantastic. There's no liability. In a perfect world, just renting whatever you needed and wanted would be fantastic. But this isn't about what you need and want. It's about what's going to sustain you, and that's it. The bare minimum. They want to own it all. They want to have it all. There's a reason that kids come out of high school financially illiterate. There's a reason why the rich get rich and the middle class doesn't exist anymore. There's a reason. It's by design. I need you to understand that this is a plan. It's an agenda. Agenda 2030. It was no accident that we started this account as 7/20/30. There's no accident. This has been out there for some time. And because they are believers in transparency on some level, they put it out there for you to consume, but nobody takes it serious. What I witness at the grocery store will become commonplace for each and every one of you. So for the people that are saying, no issue here, just wait a minute. Pull up a seat. It's coming. And like I've always said, when people can't get their Zuzus and Wham Whams, when people can't get their McNuggies, their Chick-fil-A's, their Starbucks, you're going to see a different side of people. But you have insight. You have information at your disposal. You have a group of people the Truth Squad that has done nothing but give you golden freaking nuggets of truth. And they've been punished severely for it. Myself included. You have insight. If you're not taking control of this, shame on you. How many of you own gold, silver, Bitcoin? How many of you own it? How many of you went out and bought a few weapons and ammo for a rainy day? And I'm not even talking about to protect yourself. What about to trade and barter for things you need? I always said, I buy gold, I buy silver, and I buy the other kind of metal that goes bang. I buy precious metals in the way of bullion and coins. I buy it in the way of jewelry. Because I can trade it if I need to. And I know everyone thinks that that's far-fetched, that we're never going to get to a point where we need to barter. We're not. The dollar's good. Listen, I had the privilege to speak to a man who is a financial advisor yesterday. The reason being, we're looking for office space to do this podcast. Currently, we are doing that. Now, we're at 1,600 subscribers. It's not a lot. But we are anticipating, as time goes on this year, a huge influx of listeners because we have consistently been right. And at some point, you have to side on the fact that we are legit with our information. Why is that? What's going on with the camera? It's very blurry. Can we get that fixed? You have to side on the fact that we are consistently right for a reason. We know what we're talking about. There's people in this camp that are legit. They are who they say. So when I tell you an economic collapse is coming, you better listen. You better take some action, some ownership, or you're going to be left behind. Thank you for fixing that. You're going to be left behind. This is the real deal, folks. This whole thing has been conjured up, perpetrated on the people to usher in a controlling financial system with the ultimate visibility all the way down to the consumable and the transaction. There are things in this world you do not want people to know that you purchase. True story. I mean, I could go down a list of them. Let's say you're an alcoholic. You don't want that information being put somewhere so that an insurance company can somehow dredge up how many liters of alcohol you consume a month, right? Say you're a sex addict. You don't want an insurance company to evaluate your premium based on risk, and they see that you purchase a lot of condoms and a lot of sex toys, right? And those are extreme circumstances. For the most part, the people probably don't care one way or another. I buy groceries, I buy cigarettes, I buy cigars, but all of it plays a role. They'll be able to tell what groceries you buy, how shitty your diet is. They'll be able to tell how many packs of cigarettes you smoke on average a week. And I'm just using the insurance aspect as one aspect. One. There are so many different avenues that can be used here. They can utilize this data. They can sell it to the corporations so they can pinpoint you as the perfect consumer, a social credit score. When you're good, you'll be rewarded. When you don't speak out on social media, you'll be rewarded. When you don't consume junk, you'll be rewarded. This has the potential to go a million different ways. And now, 3 months ago, this same freaking news outlet said there's no issue with the economy and everything is okay. They were touting Biden's economy and the amount of jobs he created. Now, they're putting out a very fearful message. America's economic recovery is about to go in reverse. Recession. Oil is now above $90 a barrel for the first time in 8 years. Thank you, Joe Biden. And it's a fact. Because he decided to go right back and erase the things that the previous administration did to help these industries along. Regulations, to help them grow, to help them produce more. They're pushing this green agenda. They think this is going to be their savior. This is going to save everything. This is their savior. Perpetrated on the fact that we are just lazy, glutton individuals that just tear shit up. We're a big fat cockroach on the planet. I need people to start waking up. I need people to start coming and subscribing to this channel and listening to what we're putting out. It is imperative. Just like you are implored somewhere, I'm telling you, I've been implored by something. It has a lot of names, but I've been implored to do this right here. I've given it all up to do this right here. Because what matters to me, you can see it over both shoulders. The stars and stripes. This country. And the fact that it is a far stretch from what it once was. Far stretch. All this stuff going on in the world today. You have a potential war brewing with the Ukraine and Russia. And yet Biden's out here searching for ISIS. You know how you haven't heard about ISIS in such a long time? This came from left field. And I was like, ISIS. Or is that Is that Osama bin Laden? I mean, because that's what the typical American will do. They're not educated in this. They don't sit here and consume the amount of shit that we consume. That's why you got to bring them here. Your aunts, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters, your coworkers, your moms, your dads, your grandmas, grandpas, whomever, you got to bring them here because they don't do what we do. Yourself included. We set up long hours watching videos, digging websites, firsthand accounts of this and that. Like, this is what we do because we know there is more to the story. We know. A new version of Omicron has been found in at least 49 countries, including here at home. They're calling it the stealth Omicron. Never good news, folks. Never good news. Nothing ever makes sense. Russia and the Ukraine are about to duke it out with our soldiers chilling there on the front line, and all of a sudden, we're killing ISIS again. Do you see? Do you see? I started with the economy, and I started throwing this shit out there because this is the news cycle. This is what they do. They give you a bit like they did, and then they throw all this other shit at you. You need to focus on what is going on here, 85 to 90%. And then focus on the rest of the world. You know, when I say focus, I mean just be aware of what's transpiring so you're not caught off guard when a shot is fired and it ends up being a shot heard around the world. Be focused here. Here's the facts. COVID is real. At least they're calling it COVID. This sickness is real. This illness is very real. I've seen it. I've had it. I can tell you it's not like anything else. The economy is dying. We are dying. Our rights and freedoms are diminishing. They are being erased. The Constitution is not even being looked at like the rule of law anymore. Government entities are doing whatever they want. You want to call it overreach? Come on. It's far more than overreach. Big tech, big business, big pharma doing whatever the hell they want. No repercussions. We're pumping out trillions of dollars. Trillions. We're just pumping it out. They can't print it fast enough. They're still printing money from all the shit we did during the economic lockdown. They're still printing money. Probably be printing money well through this year. When there's an abundance of something, it's worthless. Why do you think gold is worth so much money? Okay? Why do you think gold and diamonds are worth so much money? Why do you think that's worth so much money? It's got them both. It's got gold and diamonds. Why do you think it's worth so much money? Because there's not, it's the supply is lower than, I don't know, steel or aluminum. The utility is more. It can be used for more things. Supply is low. Demand is high. So let's think of the dollar in those terms. Okay? Let's think of the dollar in those terms. Of course, there's always going to be a demand for money. We want money. All of us. I don't care what people say. The people that say money doesn't matter, it can't buy you happiness, those are broke people. Or they just don't know where the hell to look or where the hell to shop. But there's such a supply. We're just giving this shit away for free. We're giving it to foreign entities that are going to turn around and use it against us at some point. We're at a point where nothing fucking makes sense. Can I say that on YouTube? Are they going to bleep it? Fuck. Okay. We're at a point where nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to see this for what it is? The fleecing of our old economic system. It started when we got off the gold standard. What, 40 years ago? 41 years ago? Or, I mean, it's taken 41 years to kill this thing. I hope you realize that. No, 50. 50. It was 70. Okay, so 50 years ago. So it's taken 50 years to kill it. But there's a reason they want to kill it. It's not just, time. It's not time for it to die. They want to usher in this new. This new is going to revolutionize the world. This new changes every aspect of your life. This new is so damn important for you to get it. That's why I'm touching on this again. Go out, research the World Economic Forum. I want you to research this phrase, CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. And then I want you to get your feet, the bare minimum, into digital currencies and cryptocurrencies. I want you to understand blockchain technology before you listen to another damn podcast. Put you 20 to 30 minutes of research in. Some things I'm not even comfortable talking about. And Agenda 2030, just skimming across the surface and hitting the clip notes, I'm cool with. But getting down deep and dirty, I'm not comfortable. These people mean business. Do that for me, please. Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, I'm going to get so much hate for this, especially right now with critical race theory and the way we perceive gender inequality and race. I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. Whoopi Goldberg said that the Holocaust was not about race. This is something. Why do you think she said that? Do you think Whoopi is a racist herself? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Prejudiced. Because from what I understand, if you are not white, you cannot be racist. Only a Caucasian individual can be racist. That's what I understand. Because now there's all these rules, you see. All these rules. I did a TikTok a while back. I had to take it down because it was with the old account, the old name, the old information. But I want to be clear, okay? I want to be crystal clear. The question that was posed was, how did my generation avoid this critical race theory, this huge issue with race? My answer was simple. We didn't know it existed. There's a distinct difference between what has been conjured up. And I'm going to explain, because I know some people are like, what the hell? What's been conjured up in the last 10 years and the Holocaust. We've all been taught about the Holocaust, unless they've changed the way they talk about Nazi Germany. Maybe they have. I don't know. I haven't been to school in a while. Did racism exist? Absolutely. Was I privy to experiencing racism? Yes. I'm Sicilian. I'm Italian. I get dark as shit in the summertime. My whole growing up, people thought I was Latino. I've been called Jose a million times. I was pulled over by State Highway Patrol. A State Highway Patrol in Ohio. April Fool's Day. 2016. Not wearing a seatbelt. In my 2017. Was it 17? No. I think it might have been. Anyway, my brand new Chevy Malibu, decked out. So it wasn't a car that should have warranted any kind of suspicion from the police. The windows weren't tinted. Everything was stock. And I drive like a normal person would drive, straight upright. I was pulled over. The officer came to my window and said, "All right, Jose. License and registration." I said, "Okay." I handed him my license. The look on his face. I had the car 2 days. It still had dealer plates on it. So it's not like he ran my name on the license plate. The look on his face when he saw my basic name, it was priceless. I know he was profiling me, thinking I was a certain... he had me pegged. How's that? He profiled me, and he was wrong. That's just one of many. We didn't know it existed because it didn't. Of course, racism existed. We've seen it. We've all been privy to it. But for our generation, we accepted everybody as an equal. Now, was it everyone? Sure, it wasn't. I'll give you that. I'm sure there were prejudiced people all over the place. But I'm talking about in my city, in my high school. If you were black, you were white, you were Latino, you were Asian, whatever you were, we all hung out together. We all kicked it together. This is the Tupac and Biggie era. All of us wanted to be a gangster and thug life. Even the guys that listen to country music, when no one was around, was bumping Eminem and Tupac and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. We all hung out. We all got along because it didn't exist like it does today. There are people out there that have a platform and they decide to use it to further this agenda. You must conquer from within. You must divide. You must create division from within. And you can take the whole damn thing. Sounds a little conspiracy-ish. I get it. Whoopi's been around the block. She knows what the Holocaust was. She was trying to use her platform to piss a lot of people off. Her repercussion is that she's suspended from The View. Will she lose her job? Will she be ousted by Hollywood? No, she won't. People, we're there. This is the final hour. And I don't mean that in a literal sense. This is a figurative way of speaking. This is the decade. This is the decade where it all changes. That's why the World Economic Forum says Agenda 2030, because by 2030, they want to have met all the criterias to usher this in. A world where you will own nothing and you will be happy. You will not have an opinion. You will not be an individual. You may do it in your home, but you might even be too afraid to do that. There's a book out there, 1984. I suggest you get you a little taste of that book, because I'll be damned if it doesn't sound a lot like you can draw parallels from 1984 and Agenda 2030. Amazon. Amazon has made billions and billions and trillions of dollars. They are about to raise their Prime membership from $20 to $130. You still think inflation is 7%? Huh? That's the number they put out. Well, I don't know, angry American. That's the number they put out. They said 0.7%. I told you it was 30%. And I was being modest. Let's go down the list. We have an economy that is on the brink. Our supply chain, to say it's disrupted, like, come on. Our supply chain is failing miserably. We have divided parties that on the surface, and you got to feel me, you got to listen to all the podcasts to understand, on the surface, they're at each other's throats. On the surface, they hate each other. You got a nation that's divided on everything. COVID, the vaccine, race, police, you name it. You have a nation divided. You have COVID. And you have COVID. And you have COVID. Because I say it like that because it's been one iteration after another. And just when you feel like we've gotten the the grip hold, like we got in a hold of this, we got a grip on this, whatever. The grip hold, jeez. There's a new strand. There's a new variant. People get sick and the numbers go up again. You got murder hornets. Don't forget those. You got a rogue planet out there. Let's come back to Earth. I'm sorry. You got Russia. Remember, Russia was a superpower. You remember? I want to piggyback Russia in a second. You got Russia ready to strike the Ukraine. They have over 100,000 soldiers on the border. You got people in this country looking at Vladimir Putin and saying, there's a real leader. This is a strong leader. I don't care what anyone says. Russia is our adversary. Always has been. They're not the biggest, but they're an adversary. To hear American citizens that claim that they are a patriot say that Vladimir Putin is a strong leader and that's what they respect him because that's what a strong leader should be, it's unsettling. I didn't grow up that way. I grew up with Rocky Balboa, Hulkamania, fighting the Russian. Do you guys remember? Do you remember? Now, all of a sudden, people are saying that is a leader. Because our leaders have failed us. Our leaders are not strong. Our leaders care more about themselves and their self-interest than they do about the American people, and it's been that way decade after decade. So you got the American people now looking outside of the biggest, baddest, best country on the planet for leadership. Didn't you hear I said we were divided? Now you have people looking outside this country for leadership. They're seeing this guy they tout as a strong leader, ready to pounce on little Ukraine, and they're good with that. Do I need to go down the rest of the list? Or do you understand the darkness that we face? This is serious. And it gets more serious by the second. And everybody cracks jokes and everybody thinks it's funny. And this isn't funny. This is it. This is the last decade of that right there. You see it? This is the last decade. This is the last decade of the cool, free, badass America. Mark my words. It's on YouTube. Mark my words. This is it. It's over. Unless we fix this right here. We fix the people. We kick out the division on all things. We come together for this, behind me, America. We don't look outside our country for leaders. We find them within. They stand up, they run, they take this shit back. They get term limits and they vow never to put self-interest before the American people in this country. Oh my God, if I don't sound like a damn politician right now. But that's where we are. That's where this is. And it's all about one damn thing, people. And I promise you, after this podcast right here, I will start just focusing on one thing and we will just run it through. No matter what it is. If the topic is Joe Biden, we'll just break that down. If the topic is Whoopi and her whoopsie, we'll just break that down. But I got to get one more in for you. Bridge that gap. Get your ass on social media. Step out of your comfort zone and start preaching this American freedom gospel. Do you understand? Because if you don't try to be understanding to those that are so divided against you that all you do is bicker and fight, this is the last decade, man. Sit. It's over. I've never seen anything like this in my 43 years. Ever. Ever. People are so hateful. There's no charity. There's no caring. There's no extending a hand. There's no trying to help people. And nobody's willing to persuade. No one's willing to put in the work, right? I'm sure I got a lot of Christians that listen to this. Nobody's willing to put in the work. Nobody's willing to be a speaker of freedom. An apostle of freedom. Nobody's willing to do it. They're just not. They would rather fight and argue over the dumbest shit. This is my favorite one. There are two. Well, y'all stole that election. Or, on the other side, you guys are so preposterous. Donald Trump is a shitbag, and he didn't deserve to win, so he didn't win. Y'all should take them masks off, 'cause that shit ain't even real. And if you get that damn stick, then you're gonna turn into a zombie. Excuse me. There is a panorama going on right now, and you need to cover this. And if you haven't went and been indoctrinated, I know what the words are, then I think it's insane that you are here. You better have your 16 boosters. I just want some rational conversations with the left, with the right, with the extreme, with the moderates, with the independents, with the non-believers, with the believers, with the Muslims, with the Buddhists, with the Satan worshipers. I don't care who it is. We're going to need everyone to make this survive. When I was growing up, people came from every country to be here because they wanted opportunity. Now people are exiting as quick as they can. They are trying to find other means. You got a damn guy on TikTok that is setting up a homestead in Antarctica. Do you understand? And chronicling his damn journey on TikTok. You know why? Because he don't want to be here anymore, man. He don't want to be here. You better wake up. It starts with the economy, and everything else is encompassed. Protect your family. Protect whatever wealth you have. Figure it the hell out. Because we're at a fuck around and find out moment. I'm telling you. I can't stress it enough. And everybody has followed this account because we do not disappoint with the information. The shit happens. We're able to, I guess you could say, predict it based off the trend. The trend is in. And freedom is at its end. You better believe it. You better get real, all of you, before it's done. Before it's done.
So enigmatic and charismatic, gotta live static, gotta get at it, never pragmatic, cause we live tragic. I can't live average, to be alive's magic. Turn it up in the back cause I'm grabbing everything I want, get in my way and I'm stabbing. I'll be moving crowds till I'm 6 feet napping. They need another fix, hooked on like an addict. I got my eyes on the prize and it's changing lives. I wanna live till I die, make a difference, right? I wanna give those in need a reason to fight. I wanna live every day like it's my last night. I wanna change how we play the game, rearrange all the pieces till they say my name, push an agenda against doing what they say. I wanna stand up and start a revolution. I wanna 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 start a revolution. I'm on top now, while me kissing babies. Call me out, president, boss tool, hate me. I'ma trust my gut, you don't faze me. I'ma get my blood, don't save me. Damn, it's never enough, still chasing every single dream that I've had since I was 18. I wanna start a